Hi, this is Paul St. Peter on behalf of Brian Awesome. There's a reason we call him Brian Awesome. It's because he's awesome, Brian. I, as Zenless, am truly awed by Brian.
You will see them in there. They do community service, they are fundraising, they are some teens in the community that are making an impact. These are female teens, sophisticated ladies, and then the men, Hampton, Rhodes, Men of Distinction, they are making a powerful impact. They're here. Yeah, give them credit for being here. So on this Kwanzaa, I'm thinking in mind the faith we had to make it through 3 Kwanzaas. Dr. Jeter Fanate Giles is to be commended for being impactful in the community. Is that right, Brother Gibson? Even though she's not even from here, she's from Mobile, Alabama. But she is making an impact on our community. You know, this is her 5th year of doing Kwanzaa. Yes. Oh, Selena's here. Selena. Yes, the 5th year. We want to give her another round of applause for her tenacity and perseverance. That's exactly what she did, tenacity and perseverance. And we are so happy to continue this celebration in conjunction too with the father of Black history, Carter Godwin Woodson, a Virginia boy who started Black history in 1926 to remind us that we had a rich history. It wasn't just happy slaves, you know, and negative things. It's a rich history, and he brought it to the world's attention. So Dr. Jeter Fanate and sophisticated ladies and the Hampton Roads Men of Distinction are carrying on that tradition of broadcasting and highlighting the positive attributes of our community. Things that bring us together, things that hold us. Okay, so now what I'm going to do as your mistress of ceremony, I am going to ask for prayer from Bernetta Watson. Beautiful dress.
Thank you.
Ms. Watson.
Thank you. Let us bow our heads. This is a prayer of thankfulness. We're so thankful that Lorena Karengo in 1966 decided to do Kwanzaa. He didn't have to ask anybody, could he start it? He just did it on faith and determination. And it started our African heritage, going back, strengthening the family, celebration, the different principles of Kwanzaa. And then we have to thank God for our leader here, Ms. Dr. Giles, for presenting this to us. And we are going to celebrate a morning today, which is faith, and we walk by faith. And we're going to ask God to strengthen this program and make it perfect. Thank you.
Ashe. As we say in South Africa, Brother Gibb, we say in South Africa, Yebo. Same thing as Ashe, Yebo. I want to thank Ms. Watson for the beautiful, fervently said prayer. And she mentioned one of the founders too. Oh, Selena, I love your outfit. She mentioned one of the founders, and his name is, like she said, Malana Karenga. He's still living. He was a professor at California State, Long Beach, who saw a way to bring us together with those 7 principles to keep our community alive. Those 7 principles. We didn't lose everything when we were snatched from Mother Africa. We didn't lose everything. And those 7 Kwanzaa principles would keep us remembering what we had and what we can still continue to have. Okay, and she mentioned I found out too, his real name, Ms. Watson, is Ronald Everett McKinley. And he was born in 1941, the founder of Kwanzaa, 1941. And in Parkinsburg, correct me, Maryland people, Parsonsburg, Maryland, Parsonsburg. Right, so we want to thank him for continuing. Oh, and I see Bill too, Bill made it. Beautiful crowd, Bill. Listen, look at the audience. Beautiful crowd on this cold day. Jackie, I see you again. Yes, so yeah, we want to give credit to Malana Karenga. Manners and etiquette consultant. Oh, okay, I see what she was. She's a manners and etiquette consultant and author of etiquette books. Right, I remember meeting you some time ago, Ms. Watson. Yes. Okay, now we come to a very, very spiritual part. Very spiritual part of Kwanzaa, and remembering that Kwanzaa means first fruits of the harvest, And in the Swahili pronunciation is Matunda ya Kwanzaa. Matunda ya Kwanzaa. It means first fruits, fruits of the first harvest. So, oh, and I see Betty too. Lord, people. Yeah, I see so many people. Yes, so what we're going to do is we come to the spiritual part of the celebration, and it is the libation. And that's going to be done by Chesar Jendai.
Oh, she said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not hard when you've been teaching English forever. Habari Gani?
Imani.
Habari Gani?
Imani.
Habari Gani?
Imani. Njema.
All right, we pour libation, I pour libation to God, and I recognize the ancestors. Ashe means I agree. Let it be done, let it happen. Will you help me please, Pat? Certainly. I'll see the picture down here. And hold the mic, please, where they can hear me. All right. Okay, so libation, I pour to God, as I said. Anytime I do any kind of offering, it's to God. But I also recognize and acknowledge the ancestors. All praise is due to the Most High God, ruler of the world, I can't even get down. Ruler of the world, our rock and our redeemer. Will you please accept the words of my mouth and the prayer of my heart? Please accept our meal offering, our dance, chant, song offering, our burnt offering, our burnt offering. We burn them in recognition of your eternal life. We burn them to symbolize your guidance of our ancestors through the desert. We ask you to guide our descendants here through this wilderness. We ask that you keep them in your circle of your eternal circle of life. We ask that we prosper within these walls, that we prosper without these walls, the family and the community. And we ask that you once again prosper for us all that we do here, our purpose here, grant our desire, protect us, and once again see us through this year. Ashe, 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 Ashe. Got to turn it off so I can go as I get up.
Now we say Ashe, Ashe. Yes, Ashe, that they got up. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so we have the libation done so ceremoniously and spiritually by Shasher. And now we are on to our Black National Anthem. And this is going to be sung by none other than one of our sophisticated ladies, Simone Smith-Hughes, and one of our Hampton Roads men of distinction, Mr. Reginald Crawford. The Black National Anthem. by our Hampton Roads Men of Distinction original and by our own sophisticated lady, Simone. Wow. Kwanzaa monologue. Ebony Kenya Denise Giles is going to do a Kwanzaa monologue, and she is another beautiful, sophisticated lady.
I was walking on New Year's Day. It was a cold breeze about 5 years ago. And I was walking past this building and they were celebrating Kwanzaa. And I said to myself, who celebrates Kwanzaa on New Year's Day? But I went in because they were serving food and it was warm. So I said, why not? So when I went in, I had this dead look on my face. But when I came out, I felt like I owned the world. Because the information that they shared was so touching to me. It almost made me cry because I didn't know anything. Nobody took the time to tell me anything about Kwanzaa, my ancestors, anything. And I said to myself, I gotta start learning this information on my own because I have a lot to learn about, but nobody's teaching me. So if I do it myself, I will learn everything about my ancestors back then, anything. So I'm telling you, do your research. You can learn a lot. I did. Imani Faith. Thank you.
Oh, that is such a warm performance. So there you see, they have not only singing talent, right, Jackie? But they also have acting talent. So we are proud of these teenagers who have made a significant impact in the community. And we speak of Brother Gift, we speak of the Zawadi, which is the gift given on the last day of Kwanzaa, right, Sharon? And so Ebony has earned herself a Zawadi, and a Zawadi, I hope, is a meaningful gift because what I'm giving her is a ticket to the Martin Luther King breakfast. That's Saturday, 7:15 in the morning's breakfast. So she has earned that. Her Zawadi. Wow. Zawadi. And notice also she cautioned us to do the research about our history. Yeah, she's cautioned us to know it, to learn it. Just like we learned Shakespeare and we had to do this in school and say this and that. Well, we can do the same thing with our what? The beauty of our history. We can do the same thing in terms of learning it. Now, we have coming up a Kwanzaa speaker, Mary Scott Nequeed, and she's going to speak in a way you'll never forget what she said. So without further ado, am I right? We're going to have Mary Scott Nequeed come and, the dance first. Oh, wait a minute, I'm so excited. I forgot the Odunde dance. And again, our sophisticated ladies and the young men of distinction are doing this dance. Okay, so you can see another aspect of their performing arts. Okay, sorry about that. I'm so excited.
Be excited. Be excited.
Oh, yeah. They start drumming.
Wow, what a wonderful performance. And to share, wow, and the sophisticated ladies and the drummers.
How can you not move with that?
This, the men of distinction. Oh, and it's so intergenerational. We had our older generation coming together with the newer generation. Oh my gracious, I'm thinking of Alvin Ailey. If Alvin Ailey could see how we're continuing the dance tradition. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Our teams of distinction. Okay, now we are moving on, and I'm looking at our next speaker. Our Kwanzaa speaker is Mary Scott McQueen. Mary, am I in the right place now?
Yeah.
And she is going to, like I said, she is a storyteller, blessed with that kind of acumen from the ancestors. And she's going to speak in a way you'll never forget her. Okay, without further ado, Mary McQueen.
And Dr. Gistore, I thank you very much, and always keep me with the language, because I'm pretty bad. I was bad in school with it also, so don't worry about it. Couldn't speak English, couldn't speak French, couldn't speak anything. All righty. Only one. Okay. I want to. Things change. You know, I believe in the spiritual world, and I do believe in God, and I do believe that we're all born for a reason. And I want to make this topic kind of personal so that the youth and their parents can get together. The first thing I want you to realize is that you need not to despise your beginning, for you were born for such a time as this. And in this world, when you were born, you were chosen by a man and a female. Just remember, 2 females can't produce, 2 males can't produce. So we know that's off the table. Reality is reality. Okay. Male and female were put together, and then you were born. Now, so you didn't have a choice. 2 people selected you. There you are, right? Some of us have parents that are disconnected with their children because of something that happened in their lives. So sometimes our babies feel by themselves out in the world. They don't feel connected. Then we have children that we love and we nourish, and you can't tell them nothing. They've got strength. But I want to start with our God, or some people will say something that's out there. This is the millennium age. The children that are born here, are given here, they may not can relate to you because you're coming from another era. But the principles are the same. It runs 1 or 2, good or evil. There is no exception to the rule. Nor have I met anyone who has outsmarted the Creator. I need to know his name, where he lives. Okay? And he created all of the earth. That means we've got some brothers that live in Spain, Puerto Rico, England, Africa. And if we go to Genesee, we'll find that Genesee, just by the rivers itself, because the millennium age, they keep digging in the earth, and they keep finding answers, and they're making it true that where you are in Africa started all the races. So do give yourselves a hand, please. Okay? Please. But from there, as the earth went around more and more times, we know that everything has an ending. And this generation now knows they have white friends, Spanish friends, Chinese friends. What do you think you have? You have black friends. So no longer can we, as a nation of people, get so racist that we shut ourselves away from the rest of the world. We can't do it. Not only that, racism is definitely a moral issue with God. Gotta do it together. Oh, I'm loving this. So I'm going to talk about the indigo children. And all the children, and I don't mean the grown children because I'm a big kid myself. As I ask you a question, let's find out how special these children are. All the children, think in your mind when I ask you these 5 questions, are you an indigo child? And these are the traits of an indigo child. They're very clairvoyant. They have a special eye. We call it a third eye. How do you know you are? You've either seen angels or you have visions. So how many of you all have visions and dreams that your parents don't know anything about? Just to the children. Okay? How many of you all believe that you were here on the earth before? You're just old. You feel like an old soul, like your daddy's talking to you and you say, I've heard this before. Or you get up and you say to your parents out in the middle of nowhere, why are you thinking like that? And your mother says, you don't talk back to me. No, I just want to know. Why do you think like that? They're called children that have old souls. How many adults know of children that look like that little kid at 2 or 3 years old? He was old. Just came in the world old. There are children that also have a lot of empathy. They love. Everything is rosy with them. They just go right on through life. Everything is good. Candy. How many of you all know children like that? The other one is to believe sometimes they're misunderstood. How many kids believe that they're being misunderstood? And an old man. Well, these are very special traits. And they're here to help our generation to move on to better things. They're your scientists. They're your doctors. They're your lawyers. They're the kid that got on your nerves so bad, the next thing you know, he ended up being the president of some firm, and he would just drive you crazy. They don't like to follow orders. Oh, no. They don't like rules. Because they already know within themselves they can follow those rules. So how does a parent deal with the indigo child? In school, they classify them as ADHD or ADD. Because he's over here 1 minute, next thing you know, he's over here. You tell him to stop, he done picked up something else. Now, the way you do that, you gotta first start building your child up in such a way from day one that he is all that and a bag of cookies or chips. Which one is it? Okay, because I got my cookie. First of all, you have to let him know that I am proud of who you are because I created you. Same thing God told Adam. In fact, he came up with love because he had to develop Eve. Of course, he had to put Adam to sleep because Adam was up for some big surprises. I think the men understand. They're going to cost you. But anyway, you first, what race are you? Get yourself straight. So when you look in the mirror, you have a way to identify yourself. Be proud of who you are. Then the next thing you want to look at, who's your daddy and your mother? You may be like me, I'm Native American. So I can give you this fact from here. Everybody came to my source, so I don't even know what everybody's talking about, because I'm going to do what I want to do, because it's my land. So you have to feel sure-footed, they call it. If you're African American, you like your way, you like your dress, you like your clothes, you like the way you speak, you like the language. Hey, you're all that. Then stand firmly on that. But don't become a racist. That means my native side, my black side, and I can tell you there was some little cooking in there because these green eyes didn't come up standing, okay? But I love my father. He's a great man, kind man, sweet man. He's from England, Brunswick, England. But yet, in my soul and spirit, I have a friend to tell you, I also am Jewish in faith. And you say, well, how did that happen? There is a section in the Bible, in the long histories, in the Torah, from Genesis to the Old Testament, before Jesus was born. There were people that helped the Jews during the Egyptian time. And God blessed them and told them, get out of Egypt. They were killing, they were trying to kill everything out there. I mean, they were giving out, look, let me tell you, the Jews, they got it all when they left out of Egypt. But they had friends. So the reason why I'm a member to the temple of Sinai, the Jewish temple, is because I'm a friend of the Jew. And you have to be very, let me tell you, that's an honor in itself. Huh?
If you're African, you are.
And you can best believe that. Let's go back to the 12 tribes. God had 12 tribes and dispersed them all over. And let's go back even further than that. We're gonna talk about, let's talk about real deals, so you know who you are while you're in the millennium, okay? So you don't get, you don't have to go to your sister. Oh, you think you yelling, you think you all that. I heard that all the way to high school. Lord have mercy. The downtown girls were giving me a hard time. Plus, checking out boyfriends on native husbands and everything, boy. But I went to Carver, they went to Huntington. Anybody went to Huntington?
Ashe.
Yeah, boy. I go to
The real one in the world.
Oh, they thought they were the baddest thing walking. Oh, yeah. Well, I was Carver High School head drum majorette for 4 years. And did they come? Oh, honey, they came out with this shape, that shape. They were humping, thumping, and bumping. Well, I run and chase deers and rabbits. So I know how to twirl, run, and step. Stayed it for 5 years, became, most likely to see politics, which is pretty much what I'm in. But let's get back to the promise God made to Abraham. Forget about being Christian. We're just only talking to the Jews. He said, I will multiply. You will have as many children as many as the stars. Now, how can God do that? I'm an indigo child. That means that we're all sisters and brothers, but we're on different sides of the planet. If anybody knows the story of the Jews, they're the most hunted race of people. I'm in the temple, and I have a representative here, and they'll tell you that. They're only people that people hunt down to kill. Now, they may hate us, but they don't try to kill us, maybe beat us or whatever. For me, I don't care. Cross this line, that's how I feel. And there's a limit to hatred. When you start hating so much and getting despised, you start living in what they call little communities, all tight, like they did me. Come downtown Newport News, past Main Street, girlfriend. I had to be sure I got home before nighttime. Okay? We have moved out of those stages. Now we're talking about what God is talking about. After your flesh, we identified you as a particular race. Now let's talk about culture. Some people say you gotta wipe your feet, take off your shoes to Muslims. I married a guy from Jordan. My last name is Nakib, which is the member of Muhammad's family. I had to learn all of the religion and everything to do what I had to do to cook and shoot and wash and pray. You got 4 wives, and I'm saying, oh no, I'm Native American. You ain't gonna have but one. Okay? But the economy had a lot to do with that. So what I'm saying, we have indigo children that don't know anything about all of that. They just were born. Their friends are yellow, gray. Half of them are Korean, most of them are Chinese. The other one is over there. So how many times have you invited your child's friend to dinner? Or their parents? You look at TV, the white man is married to the black woman is married to the white man, and we already heard some little dirty stories here and there. Be quiet. But that's not it. It is God's environment that He had made it so that His people, those who believe in Him, shall return. And these children are special. It's your job as a parent to teach them how to live on the earth. Have you heard the saying, render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and render to God what belongs to God? I'm an indigo. That means don't be stupid. If this man over here has a business, he's about money. So don't go around cursing him if he decides you can't give him what he wants. That's, God's gonna punish him. Punish him for what? He's a businessman. His job is to be honest. Honest means fair trade. No more than that. No giveaway programs. And when you have children, you must have a family, husband and wife. Rules, culture may make a difference in some people's lives. As the native, the man marries the woman, she my woman. He has my name. The baby has my name. So let's talk about name. Why is it important to follow God's law? I'll put the old Southern story on that one. He's cute. You're beautiful. We'll put you together. You were born, children, listen to this story, in the early 18th and 19th century. And let's say they know me as a neighbor. I'm native. I done heard that the white man owns you guys. Well, we're trying to figure out, how can you own a human being? Don't he have a feet? Don't he have a head? See, I can't even tell y'all the stories because somebody want to shut me up. Okay, let me cut this off. Because we're wonderful people. The reason why I'm going to tell you this story is because you have had so much greatness. We have had so much greatness. If it wasn't for we would not have the United States. Am I right or wrong? Or somebody teach me something different.
I agree 100%.
Think about it. You can't have a wealthy person if you don't have somebody working. You cry about servitude. But the servant knows the master. I know how he thinks. I know where he goes. I know how he does things. And it's an old Southern tradition. Mr. and Mrs. will call you Harris. Mr. and Mrs. Harris lives on the property. Native friend, hey, look, the white man ain't gonna give you nothing. So this is why I said integration, getting to know your neighbors and your friends. You must learn like Jews, wherever you are. Do as the Romans do, understand it, but don't lose your identity. And how you do that is live by integrity, honesty, trust. Don't worry about your enemy. If he ain't killed you, you got another life. So that's a good thing. Y'all get married. You have 2 kids. We as a native, because I got to do both sides, because I'm black and, native, whatever. So I got to do this 2 sides here. One culture tells me, I'm going to give you the land if you marry me instead of him. Another culture says, well, I may not marry you, but you know, I own you. So you're in another dilemma. He says, I'll marry you, but I don't have nothing to give you. But you want something. So that's a lot of complication, isn't it? So now you have to make a decision where you're gonna stand. I'm sure-footed. My culture is so native until it's sensitive. My skin, my race is totally different. So they are called indigo. You don't have to put yourself in a slot, and call yourself. But you gotta be a man or a woman about who you are. Does that make sense? But it wasn't for the black race, there would not be a white race. Hello! Where was the other race too? What's the other color? The yellow? What other race? Chinese? They gotta be thankful for us somehow. Be proud. Now we're gonna talk about the husband and wife. Husband and wife gets married, and let's say you decide to marry the brother, and you are part native, so automatically the land goes to you. Now you got land, okay? White man can build at the top of it. They can do anything, but they can't move the land. You might have corns, chickens, pigs. You gotta have 2 pigs. They gotta be male and female. So anyway, the white man during that time, he had to tip hats at them. So they walk by and tip hat. How's you doing? How's you doing? Fine. So what you doing up in this piece of property? He said, well, your boy, Henry, stole some candy. And I knows you're doing pretty good. How you doing, Miss Martha? I'm doing fine. How you doing, Henry? Just fine. Well, I thought I'd bring your boys back over here, because I know you can deal with it. The first thing the black man during slavery time was taught, he never had other people correcting his children. So stop. You don't need a policeman. You don't need a domestic service to raise your kid. You're the father. It's a done deal. Because he will say, before I let a white man tell me how to raise my son, boys, I'd rather go and kill you. Now, what's your name? Henry. Henry what? Junior. What's your mama's name? Martha. And we's a decent people. We own our property. The white man knows, I know he don't like me, but I respect him, and he's a respected man. That's how you have such great ancestors. Newport News, downtown Newport News. Anybody know about that?
Down the bottom?
You know a Wright, first cop. That's my uncle. Your first black judge. Uncle on the bank side. First Demi Baptist Church. You ever go there, Pastor Harris? You heard of Whitening and Taft Funeral Home? Ashe. You're looking at his granddaughter. See? That's why you men and women have to marry each other. Put some dignity in the children's name. You have come too far. You've made all the other races, so stop hating the white man, the yellow man, green man. Now, I don't be no fool. When a man is wrong, he's wrong. When a woman is wrong, she's wrong. ADHD, saying that the kids, because they are creative, dancers, they're special. They're not. They are a gift to your future designer, your future doctor, your future nurse. Now we're in the millennium age. We need somebody to figure out how to stop people from getting in the grid. Stop hitting the grid. Because, you know, we can grid out right now and then nothing you will have. You won't have any memories of anything. You all won't know how to use pencil and paper yet, so that one you can do. What I'm saying, sit down at home now. Be proud of who you are. Look at the man you love. So you know what, we're gonna do this with dignity. We're gonna give this boy a name, so we have to go around. How many football players and basketball players that will tell you they don't even know who their father is? Come on. The reason why I'm telling you, because it's a native culture and thought. Birds flock together. Cats and dogs are together. They never leave their nest until they wean their kids in the proper way. Let's talk about discipline. Telling a kid over and over again, and I've been teaching school for the last 10 years, 30 years minimum. Kids stays in school 7 days, or 5 days a week, sometimes. Including the ones who cut here. Okay, but anyway, 5 days a week. And he's up in the morning, what, 5:30 in the morning? Up until 3 o'clock. It's a job to them just like it is for you going. Because they got to think. All day long, they're hearing education, education. By the time they get to the 5th grade, they're looking for that yellow bus to get home. I used to hate to teach the 5th grade period. 1st grade, because, 1st period, because you're sleeping. The 5th one, you woke up and you're ready to go home. And I'm teaching chemistry that day. Okay? What I see is that there's a difference between punishment and being concerned. When the child comes home, first thing they don't want to hear about going to the homework and get your room, bedroom clean. Am I right, kids? Somebody vote up here. I'm speaking up for you. Okay. The way you do this is you leave a note. Let them have at least a 5-minute period of time just to unload. Give them a hug if you're home. How's school today? Play dumb if you have to. Let's do homework together because I want to learn something because Mama's stupid. Use reverse psychology if you have to. Sit there and do homework with them. You're learning something. If you don't know how to do it, they got those little funny things now. They give them the answers anyway. Spend 1 hour just hugging them and teaching them. Then say, baby, guess what? We're going to have something for dinner. You want to help me cook? I don't know how to cook, but you're going to learn. Give them chores, but first supervise them, like the eagle supervises her little baby chicken. Birds don't let the little baby bird come out of the nest until they teach them the properness. Then at the end of the day, the room is still messy, right? Assign them a day on a Thursday, because you know Friday's the weekend. They ain't gonna want to clean nothing. So as I go and tell you this, I want you to look at that. Family, pray together, read a story together. Let the child tell you everything that went on. I don't like my teacher, good. I can't stand her, because they're confessing. And by that time, you'll have the whole story. So if anything goes down, you know that you share. Okay? I could go on and on. But I thank God for the indigo children, or the crystallite children. And I thank God for being born African American and Native American, and whatever the third thing is coming in here. I thank God that I can go to a culture and sit down at the Chinese place and learn how to eat with the 2 sticks. Try to invite people in your home that are of different races. And I want to show you how important you are. We're getting ready to go into a racial war, and you can see it on TV. It shows my name is what it is. And I believe it's going to be the black race who's going to be leading that. Because we already knew you can't mistreat people and get away with it. And we've worked too hard. Don't expect the government to support you. Guys and women, if you don't get married, you can't have no children, can't afford it, the white men don't need to be paying for it. Come on, excuse me. Let's be real. If you want to start a house, buy a little tiny one. Yeah. But hold on to the land. Because the house, science, you know, I'm a senior, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you don't listen. Praise God, because I'm saying this and I'm speaking this must be for someone. Oh my God. You worked too hard. You paid such a severe price. to know what Caesar is doing. Watch what they're doing. You own a house, 30-year mortgage. The man is 25. How old is he? 55. Right? Before his house gets paid. If you don't take care of his health, somebody's got to come and take care of him, right? Well, here's number one rule of Caesar. You must liquidize your home in order to get Medicaid, to get health insurance. $250,000 just walked out of your door. Be smart. Love your children instead of punish them and leave them an inheritance now while you're living, and give it to them while they're living. Because when you get my age, you have to liquidize your house, and I'm telling you the truth because you know my mom. We sold a $500,000 home. All the life policies she wanted to give to us as children had to be liquidized down to the figure of $2,000. Nursing home costs $4,000 a month. That means you're broke and all the inheritance. Well, you know the native way. White man didn't catch a boat either going across the street, and he won't go get my money. Okay, so you know what we did? They're still mad with us. We put the house in reverse mortgage, took out all the cash on bond, and you can't put a lien against reverse mortgage because it's already, the cash is out. Am I right? Somebody talk to me. And my mother split up all the $75,000 cash, right? Then we asked each one of our kids to take out a policy on me. So when I died, since I was broke all my life, working all my life, put it up to $100,000. And when I die, honey, even though you're paying, that's all I can say is thank you, because I did the best I could. So children, learn to protect your parents that way, and parents don't be resentful about that, because if I remember last, being I am a mortician's daughter, so my mother's teaching you school and we burying you. I used to tell the kids downtown, New Produce, what my mama don't teach you, my daddy would learn you. Meaning you gotta come our way one way or the other. And you know how we started our business? The white man was so prejudiced, anybody know this? Would not bury blacks in their cemetery. Am I right? Did I just wake up some people? Just recently they've been doing it. And you know how they're getting you now? They're doing public funeral homes where you can put in. That's, so you don't have no history that go digging and find out he's over here, there, and over there. That's how we got into business. The second thing, when we lived in Williamsburg, Virginia, went to college, William and Mary. Never saw poverty a day in my life. There you go. How long? So when I go into the thing, they'll say, oh, you Miss Mary's granddaughter. I don't never be called by my real name. My real name is Latrell to this day. They never call me Latrell. I was always identified by my grandparents' reputation. Oh, you John Addis' daughter? Girl, you can have anything you want, so you can get in college. Keep your name clean, respectful. You know why? Because let's say your son gets into jail. Anybody know about this law? The parents is respectful in the community. The judge will listen, because you should know better. Am I right? The other thing I want you to understand, because you're on the block, they're taking health insurance away from you. And this is how they do it. Anybody remember first Social Security? Roosevelt. Okay, Roosevelt. That was for the working class. That's why, okay. That's why you pay tax. You pay your Social Security. I just want you to know that's burned out. But nobody came to me. I went and retired, and he says, you only get 10 years. I said, hold it. I worked 40 years. And that's with our husband, and I done bought 3 houses with da-da-da-da-da. We only get 10, in case you haven't gotten there yet. The 20%, 20 years go to the general public. Am I right? Somebody knows? Anybody followed it yet? Am I right? 10 years is all I get. If you go into Social Security too early, you're gonna lose 30%. Watch the master. But don't be disrespectful. Play his game. Know what he wants. The other thing I want to tell you that I know, because we're in the millennium age, you all won't have any money. Now we're going onto the computer. Okay, I just got to tell them this news. We're doing work online. You haven't seen the game yet? Trucking. As long as you can drive, you got a job. Food's from overseas, you're contaminated. Your food is all tapped up, even the lettuce. You cannot wash insecticide off of your lettuce. Let me tell you that now. I'm that country, I know that. Science schools should have taught you. You boil the germ away up to a degree, right? Or you freeze it. So I just want to say, I have to go. And I hate going. But this is my prayer. Move on. What's in the past is the past. But take with you 2 things, 3 things. Your God, because nobody can outsmart him yet. Who you are. Exterior or interior. Most of all, I have a saying, this old Jewish saying, you're going to be a good thief, be a good one, but have some integrity behind you. Please. Don't let the forefathers who came on your boat, and by the way, during that time slavery was a thing, they were brought from Africa. The Jews left Africa and went to Spain, England. No matter how your ancestors got here, this is your land. Own it like you know what you're doing. Love who you are. And tell the white man, sorry, excuse me, there is no superior race. Because the last time I checked statistics, 46 million of them are not white. So we have come to where God wants it to be. Full circle. Thank you, Sarah and Abraham, and thank you, God, for promising that my seed will be all over the world.
Didn't I tell you?
Celebrates the rich heritage of Africa. Beads by Bandera, our African flag that is displayed during Kwanzaa. It has 3 colors. Black represents our African American people, red symbolizes our struggles, and green stands for a happy future. C is for candle. Kwanzaa candles are called Viva Wapazar. They are black, red, and green, same as Bandera. D is for the Shiki. E is for Imbo, a mango fruit that grows in many parts of Africa. F is for feast, a large meal family and friends get together called Fura. G is for Gaily. Our African women and girls wear a strip of cloth around our heads. H is for harvest, ripe crops of fruit and vegetables that is gathered at the end of the growing season. I is for indigo, blue powder made from the indigo plant. It is mixed with water and used to dye cloth. J is for jewelry. Jewelry is an important part of dressing in many African cultures. K is for Kwanzaa and Canara, which is a calendar that holds 7 kinds of Kwanzaa. L is for leopard, grow a piece of cloth that the African women and girls wear wrapped around their bodies like a skirt. M is for Mikika, special matches set on the Kwanzaa table. N is for neighborhood. Kwanzaa teaches us to respect our neighborhood and work together to make it a better place. O is for Owa, an African game played with water. America. Here's the quilt. Created Kwanzaa quilt with African fabrics, family items that have some special meaning. Ours for reveal is used to make masks, weave baskets, and food bags. As a special care, rhythm instrument playing for African dances and Kwanzaa celebrations. Tears for tales. Reading and telling African tales is a popular Kwanzaa activity. U.S. Funky Gamma. Means go African economics. You can buy African products such as kente and cloth, jewelry, and food. We have a new Gamma market at this Kwanzaa celebration. Please support the vendors. Beans for Maranzi. Dry ears of corn, plants in the Makika. Corn represents children who are the future of the family. Dug is for water, doing water for water sports to the Unity Club. X is for xylophone, Y is for yams, Z is for Hawaii. Need gifts.
That's what I'm talking about. Indigo children, thank you.
And the music plays while we are getting ready for a Kwanzaa skit. Okay, so. Does anybody have an announcement you want to make in terms of something happening coming up?
Hello, dear family members. How are you on this fantastic Kwanzaa? Hello. Welcome back again for sharing your gifts and knowledge about Kwanzaa. Imani Faith. Now, what did you all bring to help celebrate this wonderful occasion?
I bought the makika, a mat I made by hand. Here, let me place it on the floor.
Oh my goodness. Gorgeous. Look at it.
What did you bring to the celebration, Brother BK?
I bought a bowl of fruit called Mahazo. This reminds everyone that hard work is rewarded.
Yes, that's really good. Yes. Hard work is rewarded.
And what did you bring, Brother Xavier?
I brought that Muhandi for a mindful hope for the children in the future.
Children are the hope of the future, yes.
I'm glad you asked. I brought some homemade candy yams to the Kwanzaa feast.
Homemade candy yams.
Hey.
Okay. Thought they was in the oven, but okay, they're getting warmed up.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That's my second batch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right.
Well, Ebony Giles, what did you bring?
Y'all
to the Kwanzaa
already
feast?
know. Y'all already know I had to shut it down. Okay, shut it down.
It's a move.
I went all big for y'all because I love y'all, okay?
All right.
I bought gifts for everybody.
Oh.
This is called Zawandi. Here you go. Brother Original, Brother Xavier, Brother BK, Sister Simone.
You got me this for real?
I wasn't expecting it.
Yes. And you know the other two, you know I had to treat myself as well. All right, yeah. Thank you all again for sharing your gifts and knowledge about Kwanzaa. I am so glad you guys are my brothers and sisters. Now, I look forward to seeing you guys next year at this time for the 7 days of Kwanzaa, okay? Okay? And please be on time. I love to be late. All right. Happy Kwanzaa, y'all.
Happy
To all of you, may your Kwanzaa be a happy one. Love and peace at Kwanzaa. From the sophisticated ladies and Hampton Roads Men of Distinction.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Come back, Ed.
Okay, so now we are ready now for our brother Larry Gibson, who's going into the realm of the elder, and he's going to give you all a Kwanzaa thought of the year.
You know the word Ubuntu? Ubuntu means compassion and humanity. There was an anthropologist who came into the village, and he walked up to the children, and he had a big box of sweets. And he said, I'm gonna place this by the baobab tree, which is the tree of life. He said, I'm gonna place this by the tree, and whoever gets there first, children, you can have it. So when he said, get on the mark, get set, go, he expected the children to take off and flight. But all the children stood and looked at each other and grabbed hands and walked to the tree together. So then when he walked up to them and everyone's sitting down eating the sweets, he said, why did y'all do that? And they said, do what? He said, someone could have gotten here first and had all the sweets to himself. And they said, what good is that? What good is one having it all and the rest having nothing? So our thought for this year is humanity and compassion. And that's what it is. It's about unity. It's about creating and bringing all us together as one. Creating and causing change. We're powerful people. We're very powerful people. Words speak power. And the Most High said in us, you know, there's power of life and death in the tongue. We can do this. And when it said doing it, it doesn't have to take 400 years. It doesn't. And I thought in my mind, you know, things are not going to get better. It can. It may not, but it can, depending on what we do. Because if it can't change, wouldn't change, then our forefathers would still, they'll be struggling for us today, and we'd still be enslaved. We would still be enslaved. Things changed. So that means that if we want things different for our babies, then we have to do things altogether different ourselves. Because you can't keep doing the same things the same way and expect change. Dr. Frederick Douglass said this about us. He said, it's far greater to build strong youth than it is to rebuild broken adults. So we got a hard job, but we can do this. Ashe? 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 Humanity.
We want to thank Brother Gibson for his words of wisdom, his words of admonition to us all. Now we are ready for a Kwanzaa poem in African dance by the sophisticated ladies, our talented teens. They're not drumming?
Just wake y'all up.
It did.
It's alright, it's a celebration that shall last throughout the year.
It's about love. It's about life. It's about our community, our family, our community, our genes, our birthright. It's about love. It's about life. It's about our culture, our family, our community, our genes, our birthright. We remember our glory, our stories, yesterday's. Those that came before me, today's. We're building our way, tomorrow. Sunshine, good times, and learning from our sorrows. It's about love. It's about life. It's about our culture, our family, our community, our genes, our birthright. Umoja, unity. Kukuchikalia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work, collective responsibility. Ujama, collective economics. Nia, purpose. Komba, creativity. Imani, faith. It's about love. It's about life. It's about our culture, our family, our community, our genes, our birthrights. Umoja, Kukuchikalia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kumba, Amani.
Y'all live in this little small room, but we're so glad that you all came, and we're gonna get out of the way so you all can eat, because we got some good black eyed peas back there for you. So again, thank y'all for coming. Happy Kwanzaa. And just a couple announcements. I hope everybody signed the guest list that we have out there. Because we're going to have our next annual, it's at the bottom of your program, our Black History Lunch and Mother, Daughter, Father, Son, Unit Family Structure Conference. That's going to be the last Saturday in February, Saturday from 1 to 4 at the Hampton Performing Arts Center. And this conference is for free. This will be our 7th year hosting this conference. Judy, would you please come join us? I'm glad. I had so much fun, but this was a lot of work. You know, we hosted 3 Kwanzaas, and we had some beautiful Kwanzaas over the water at the Addicts Theater. And we had one in Chesapeake, the Essence Book. So we're going to keep this going. So make sure you sign up so we can grow. Okay? And Judy, would you come join me? Right here, sweeties, right here. It takes a lot of time as well as money to put these activities together, not only Kwanzaa, but the other activities we have throughout the year is right under there, sweetie. So at this time, if you would like to give a donation to support our cause so we can keep doing these community service activities, we really appreciate it. The only thing you do is just raise your hand, and Judy will come by and she will get the donation from you. And we're gonna bless the food and eat. So we thank you so much for the donation. And while she's doing this, Brother Larry Gibson, if you could come up and stand by me, because when we're done with this, we're gonna bless the food and we're gonna eat, okay? So, sophisticated ladies, Ebony, would you help Judy collect the donations? We have some hands here, so we can expedite matters here. There you go, sweetheart. Start with this, go ahead.
There, Ubuntu. I am because we are. And we are because I am. There's no proper posture of prayer in scripture or anywhere that I know. And that old adage, here today, gone tomorrow, that's changed. Here today, gone today. So when I give up prayer and praise to the Most High, I look at the people that I'm standing with and before, because I'm taking you in me. Because I don't know if I'm going to make it a couple of days from now, a couple of minutes, or a couple of moments from now. So there's reasons why we come together. And if you don't know the purpose for someone's reason for being in your life, then you miss their whole reason for being. So we give thanks to the Most High for allowing us this moment, this opportunity to be together today, to fellowship together, to worship together, to just be a part of one another. He who gives us power to fulfill purpose. And it's evident he still desires to use us because we're still living. We're still here. So that what he has given us, help us to find it so that we can be sharing it. Father, we're thankful for these, your fruits from your bounty, that they may nourish us and strengthen us and make us whole. That we may be purposeful in everything that we do for the building of our people. The change agents, fire starters in this life that we live. It's in Yehoshua's name. They call him Jesus. His name is Yehoshua. Emmanuel. Yesu. Ashe. Amen. Have fun. Enjoy.
You bless the food, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right, you all can be served. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, baby.